What's up, everyone? Welcome back to another interview on Hungry People. Today, I am joined by the infamous, lovely Gillian Berry. Gillian, how you doing today?
Hey, I'm great. How are you, AJ?
Doing well. Got a lot of interviews today. I think on both sides, we both have some interviews we're going through.
Yeah, we both do. Interviews are so great. I love them.
It's my favorite. I actually just love meeting new people, and I actually love reconnecting with the people who I've talked with quite a bit, such as yourself. And recently, over the last month or two, I realized that you had me on your channel like 4 or 5 times, and I've only had you on here one time. And I'm like, I got to have you on again because I always get a lot of feedback, and people really love what you have to say. And even in my groups that I'm involved in, people are always chatting about like the new video. I think they were recently today, actually, Zoe. She was saying how she just watched your interview with Eli and she's diving into both his stuff and your stuff. And what a great message that you guys are sharing.
Thank you so much. That's so nice to hear. I love making the videos so much. Like there's nothing in life that feels more in alignment with my like purpose and with myself. So I absolutely love it. And I love hearing when people love the videos too.
And you're popping off now.
Thanks. Yeah, things are going good.
Yeah,
YouTube
you're growing.
is a lot of work on YouTube, right? But
yeah,
like I absolutely love it. So I don't care. Like I see myself doing it when I'm 80, but it definitely takes time and it's a hustle and it's a lot of work to like get going and get the algorithm to pick you up. But it's starting to pick me up. Things are moving. So it's really great. I'm really happy about it.
yeah, I actually don't know anyone who puts the time and investment like you do into your channel. So it's really cool to start to for you to reap some of that reward.
Thank you. I do. I mean, and it costs me money. I don't know how to make my own videos or anything, as you know.
Mhm.
So, but I mean, it's just, I love doing it so much. It's just like, I feel like I would do it for free for the rest of my life. Hopefully that's not the case. And somehow I find a way to like monetize greatly in an organic
Yeah.
way that's not like salesy or anything. Cause I'm not like that, but I love it. So
Well, I think having the intention and knowing yourself and knowing you don't want to go down that route, you're going to have plenty of opportunities come your way that you didn't even know existed, you know?
that would be amazing, especially as you know, it's been a rough couple years for me and that would be amazing. So it would be pretty awesome.
Yeah, well, I have no doubt that it's going to be coming pretty soon, but that's a perfect jumping off point into today's topic, which is creating higher standards for yourself and the people around you. I think that, part of the reason why you've had so much success in such a short amount of time is because you didn't take the easy, cheap, minimal effort 4-hour work week approach to growing your message in your channel. Would you agree?
Absolutely. I would absolutely agree with that. Yeah. And I think that, I mean, with something like YouTube or with anything really that anybody's involved in, if they're just looking to like make a quick buck or like, if it's not fast for them, they're out of there, then it's not the right thing for them. You know what I mean? I feel like you have to be really dedicated and your heart has to be in it. And I think the best thing in life is something where your heart is in it and you're adding value to other people. So I feel like that's what I do with my videos. So it's just perfect because like I feel passionate about it. My heart is there and it's something that adds value to like YouTube is a place where you can add the value to the most amount of people. Cause like as my channel grows, it can just hit my messages can hit so many different people, which I think is so awesome.
Yeah, and you can always tell in your videos how excited you are. I think that you're probably the most excited YouTuber that I follow. Whereas me, it's so usually like this mellow energy of just having a conversation, which is great and all.
Yeah.
But as far as being excited to make it, I don't know if anyone compares to what you're putting out there. In fact,
Well,
you say it multiple times. I always notice that, which is cool.
I do. I think in every intro, I'm like, I'm so excited for today's video.
Well, it's like an innocent, sweet, like I don't know. It's almost like you're like a young person. You give off that young person energy. And a lot of people kind of do what they do. Even in the interview you had with Dan, where he's kind of like, I just do this for money, guys. And you're like, hey, I'm really excited to make this video. He's like,
I gotta make a video. Yeah. No, Dan's awesome. Yeah. I just feel so excited making videos because like I said, it just feels in alignment with who I am. So I think if you're doing something that like you're really passionate about, you just get in like that flow state, in that alignment state, and you feel like yourself. That's when I feel most like myself. And I think some people think I'm like that all the time. And I did used to be like that all the time until like I had a bad last couple of years, which I told you about. So like a few weeks ago, one of my subscribers, I was like, oh, thanks. My subscribers often reach out to me and send me really nice emails, which is so awesome. And it really lifts me up. And it always seems to happen when I'm having like the worst day. So like one of them I wrote back and I was like, oh, this means so much to me. I'm having such a bad day. And they were like, it's hard to picture you having a bad day.
Yeah,
I'm
it
thinking,
is.
okay, maybe I need to get a bit more real, come on YouTube and tell people like I have had the lowest of the low days. Like
Mhm.
that's when I realized like it's not all diet. When I first went raw, my life, I had my dream home, everything was perfect. And I thought I will never have a bad day ever again. Like this diet has changed my life so much. I feel so amazing inside. Nothing can like break me down. And then I've had a really bad last couple of years. So I realized it's a lot of other things too. It's not just diet. So I think I'll make a video
Yeah.
about that too, not to mislead people and just think like I'm always this happy raw vegan and it like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, you're a human being,
Mm-hmm.
just like the
Yeah,
rest
pretty
of us.
much.
But it's good and it's important that you do have that vital health, because at least going forward, it's not the combination of like a person who's so sick and they have all the problems. You know, as soon as you work your way out of that, I think that you're gonna be able to enjoy that success, kind of like we
Mm-hmm.
talked about the other day. But
Mm-hmm.
kind of going back towards the subject at hand, this idea was actually inspired by Grant Cardone. You're familiar with him, right?
Yes, I am. Yep.
So he gives a couple different speeches, but a lot of it is about, you know, actually asking for more or getting into a little bit of debt and taking some of these risks, because a lot of people are just doing the minimum. You know, oh, they put their pennies away. They maybe save $10 a week, or they stop getting a coffee each week, or they don't buy organic food. And really, I think that that's kind of the wrong move. I think a
Mm-hmm.
better move is to actually take a little risk, but also like really invest in yourself. For example, you know, these mics are a good example, because when I started the podcast, it's not like I had like tons of money or anything, but I'm like, hey, if I'm going to be making podcast episodes, I might as well get a decent mic so people can hear me and enjoy it. Whereas I could have put that off for a year or two and just use my Apple headphones or something.
No, I'm the same way as you. I wanted the best mic. That's why I asked you about this. This was Joe
Mhm.
Rogan's mic. And I'm the same way. If I'm gonna do something, if I'm like all in, I'm gonna do it right. You know what I mean? And I think it pays off later on when you do that. And I'm not the type of person where it's like I get when people go through hard times. Like I heard something the other day. When some people are going through hard times, they'll be like, okay, I won't buy that coffee, I won't buy that, I won't buy that, which I totally understand. But
Mhm.
then another approach to that is instead of having that attitude, think, okay, like I need to find ways to make more money to support the lifestyle I want to live, not like I need to find ways to like sort of live in lack, because I don't think that's our true nature to live in lack
Mhm.
and have to like, I think our true nature is abundance. And I think like living in lack and like counting pennies and stuff like that, I totally understand everybody has hard times. I have too last couple of years,
Yeah.
but I don't think that's our true nature. And I don't like, I think it's more fearful and that's not really who we are. So I personally, I don't know. That's what I think.
Well, I think that it's good to work within our means. You know, I couldn't necessarily go out and like build an entire
Mm-hmm.
studio or something right off the bat, which would be ideal, right? And just
Mm-hmm.
pay like really influential people to come onto my show. Like that would probably work in terms of like building up the show quick. But we do have to work within our own means. That being said, I think that inclusion is a better mindset than exclusion. So instead of saying, "Oh, I'm not going to get this coffee this week," or "I'm not going to go to the movies," or whatever, including like, I'm going to start taking enzymes. I'm going to start drinking green juice. I'm going to start eating organic foods, so that at least you start to facilitate like more health and more of a momentum that comes with being the person that you want to become, building the person that
Mm-hmm.
you want to become. And how can you
Mm-hmm.
actually envision yourself and see that when everything you have is you scraping by and not having that?
Mm-hmm. And I think maybe sometimes in life, if you're not doing the right thing, like if you're not on the right path, then maybe that's why you are kind of scraping by. Maybe you're not in alignment with where you should be. I saw a video that Rhonda Byrne did, the creator of The Secret. Do you know the book The Secret?
Mm-hmm.
And she said that, you know, her life, like she was in a lot of debt, like things were not going right. It was like her life was a mess. And then she read The Science of Getting Rich, and that book inspired her to write The Secret. And then she just knew she was like meant to have this big book and have this message hit the masses. And
Mm-hmm.
she said when she started working on this book, when she started working on it, like she would call Bob Proctor, this person, that person. It just so happened they were in the same city, like everything was
Wow.
lining up. And she just said like it was meant to be and like the universe provided. And I kind of feel like when you're on the right path and you can get out of that like lack and fearful mindset and figure out exactly what's in alignment with you and work towards that, then I feel like the universe will provide and things will be provided for you. And you can like those higher standards you have will fall into place. You'll be able to afford them, things like that. That's definitely been the case for my channel too. Like
Mhm.
I've just like unexpected amounts of money have come to me. Like last year had an unexpected 35,000 come to me out of nowhere one day that somebody,
Wow.
yeah. So, and that all went to my channel. Like, I don't know. Some people think, oh,
Somebody
YouTuber, my
donated
channel's
that?
somebody I know gave it to me.
Oh,
Yeah.
cool.
And so that was great because I think some people think like I have so much but that's not the case. But anything I do have, I've put into my channel over the last year. And I really believe in my channel. And whatever happens, happens at the end of the day. I love it. So
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, well, I think that is, as long as you continue on it, I can't see you not having extreme, success. This is actually a subject I just talked. I had a long talk with Dr. Doug Lyle, kind of about the podcast and some of the mental blocks that I'm kind of having in my view of the podcast and the YouTube. And I think that because I am wanting to earn money as a result of it, it was kind of skewing my view and kind of compromising the way that I ran it a little bit. And he kind of said to me, like, AJ, the way that you need to think about it is like, this is your art. This is your art form. This isn't something that you're worried about selling. This is your masterpiece. And these interviews are your masterpiece. And you displaying them to the world and showing them, whether it's education or talents or opportunities, that's really the focus, not to worry about the success, because worrying about the success and worrying about the finances of it is going to, water down the message, and you're going to compromise kind of who you are. And I thought that that was a really, that actually got through to me. That actually made a lot of sense, because I've
It's
had
so
like,
true.
yeah, because when you have that kind of pressure, it's not like a healthy pressure, and
Mhm.
and then you're worried about like, who's going to be the guest? Are they going to bring you in views or not? Instead of worrying about having an awesome conversation like the ones that I've had with you, or I just had an interview with Dan McDonald, which I'll be sharing, was really great. I had a fiber expert on today, which will be uploaded in the next week or two, which is cool. And it kind of
Amazing.
gave me my grassroots feeling back again.
Mhm.
And to tie that into the investment part, uh, I wouldn't have been able to speak with him without investing in myself, without paying the money for a consultation, right? And
Mhm.
now I just feel so much lighter and freer, and I feel as though I have my vision back instead of this thing that's kind of like weighing me down.
Mhm. That's great. That's amazing that that could benefit you like that. And it's true. It's important we invest in ourselves like that because it just only leads to better things for our life.
Yeah, and how many people feel really sick and they do work full-time jobs, but they miss work all the time, or they don't do as, maybe they have a performance-based job, whether it's
Mhm.
commission or sales, and they just don't really do that well because they don't feel that good in life, right? But
Yeah.
I'm sure you've noticed when you started to shift more towards healthy eating and investing however much you spend on the food, you were able to kind of break free of that and give a better effort in your daily work.
Yeah, absolutely. Nothing has changed me more than changing my health habits and investing in myself with the foods I eat.
And it's not
Nothing
always
like
cheap, right? Like, it takes
no, it's
money.
not cheap. It's crazy how like my dad used to joke around about this guy that had a crush on me and he was like, you can't even afford her grocery bills, buddy. Like it's crazy. It's crazy, but it's totally worth it because you feel good every day. And just like I said, life can be hard, but
Mhm.
it just makes it easier, right? Than if I was just eating the standard American diet like before. I don't even know where I'd be. There's a chance I think I might not even be alive if I was still eating the standard American diet.
Right. Well, I'm glad you upped your standards for
Yeah.
sure.
Yeah, me too. That's yeah, upping your standards with how you eat is like the most important thing. I think so many people don't want to spend a lot of money on food, but I think it's
Yeah.
like the most important thing that's where everything starts, how you nurture yourself.
And during the Dan interview, I did show the before and afters, because he didn't even remember how sick I was and how sick I looked. And I wanted to show him and his viewers and my viewers. And he was just like, whoa, bro. And I'm like, that's the thing. When people get on me and talk shit about, oh man, you have to spend so much and you have to put so much work into how you eat and whatever. But here's the thing. I wasn't earning much money at all when I was sick. I don't care if the food costs me 10, 20, 30,000 a year. If I'm healthy enough to earn double that or triple that or whatever in the long run, it's so worth it. And going to like an average grocery store and just buying like regular celery for 70 cents and these cucumbers that are slimy, you make a juice out of that. You don't feel healthy. You feel like, and you don't enjoy it. It tastes like
Mm-hmm.
garbage, right?
Mm-hmm.
And like the enzymes and the supercells, like this stuff adds up. It's not that I'm ignorant to the fact that it costs money, but if it gives you it gives you that edge so that you can take yourself to the next level. And that can be the equipment, that could be the food, but it's really a mindset. It's a mindset of not wanting to settle for something that's so basic that doesn't make you feel alive. You feel like it's just like,
Mm-hmm.
what is this? Like, why am I even doing this? You know?
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. And you know what? I feel like some people think, I think with their lives, you just have to really be grateful with what you have. And I think sometimes they see having higher standards as being like a prima donna or like ungrateful or this and that. And I disagree with that. I really think gratitude is so important, especially if you're going through tough times. But at the same time, I think there's nothing wrong with like having higher standards and wanting a really nice life. I think that's in our, and I feel like we're here on earth to be creators and have like
Yeah.
to enjoy the physical too, to be spiritual, but also to enjoy the physical and enjoy clothes. And if you want a nice car, okay. Or and like, you know, as long as you're being like kind and loving to people as much as possible and learning and growing, still like have fun with the physical. There's nothing wrong with like wanting a nice life or being like, doesn't make you any less spiritual, in my opinion.
Not at all. In fact, I think that, we are spirits having a human experience. So let's enjoy the human experience. And
Mm-hmm.
I think a lot of people shame people for having money and making money, which is a really odd thing because when I've been the most, we hit these rock bottom moments. Maybe we don't have money and it's like this turning point where, yes, you don't need money to be, let's say, spiritual, but sometimes not having those huge burdens on your head anymore allows you to invest more, not just in yourself, but in your spiritual practices. Maybe you can
Mm-hmm.
finally sleep deep through the night, or you can meditate and kind of reach some of these more enlightened times in your life, or give to the people and give to your channel and things. And without that, it's more like an obligation, and it's more like
Yeah.
you're running around like crazy trying to make it all work. And I think it's a
Mm-hmm.
really healthy mentality to have. Like, money is a good thing. It's great to have because it gives you options in life. How often are we trapped in situations we would never be in if we just had a little more money? Does that mean that money is the
Mm-hmm.
end all be all? No, of course you need to be healthy. You need to be a good person, and you need to have a purpose and good people around you. But without having money, how can you invest in yourself and the people around you the way that you would otherwise?
Yeah, that's the thing. I agree with that. I feel like when you're in an abundant state, you have even more to offer. I'm not saying you have to have abundance to offer anybody anything. I'm not saying that, but
Sure.
when you're in abundance in all areas and finances and things like that, you can offer more to others. And you are like it's usually your best self too, because you're not stressed and fearful and worried about money, things like that, you know?
Yeah, and when you don't need anybody, you feel empowered.
Mm-hmm,
You don't have to live
absolutely.
by anyone else's rules.
Mm-hmm, absolutely. Which is the ultimate, right?
And when that happens, what's amazing is, let's say you've been in a state where you've been down for a while and you've kind of wanted help from people. As soon as you become fully independent and you don't need anyone's help, everyone's like begging to help you. And they're like, they
Yeah.
want to be in your inner circle now. They want to like have some of the, oh man, you're so positive. I want to be around you. Or you have so much abundance, or your friends are all, healthy and hot and all this stuff. We want to be in that inner circle when really
Yeah.
they weren't with you during the times where you
During the
needed
tough
them the
times.
most, right?
Yeah, that's how it works. When you need nothing or no one, that's when everything's there, right? It's just like when you're in a store looking to buy something, right? You need some help. Like you need some help right now. No one's there, right? And then you don't
Yeah.
need any help. And they're all like, hey, how are you? Do you want to see this? Do you want some help? You're like, I'm
Yeah,
good.
get away from me.
Yeah. Yeah.
And one of the things is, like, we live in this time where we have a lot of things we have been exposed to, whether it's like mold in houses or dust and all this stuff. And it's like using money to buy an air purifier so that this space that you're in almost 12 hours a day or 24 hours a day, all of a sudden you could breathe fresher air. I mean, it's a never ending process, right?
I think
But
it's important. Yeah.
even like being able to see the world, or
Hmm.
you have a family member going through a hard time, being able to support them. It's not even just all about you.
Absolutely.
So
That's what
like
I
for
admire about you. I think too, like with a juice cleanse or something like that, a juice cleanse can be such a reset for someone's life. Like it's the girl on my channel, Sarah Erica, it saved her life, right? Juice cleansing does so much.
unbelievable story. I'll link that video down below.
Yeah, that's my favorite story. And I think some people like have a hard time with how much a juice cleanse would cost, right? But then I see it,
Yeah.
it's like I never felt better in my life than 37 days on juice. And it changed my life. And it's just one of the greatest things you can invest in. So I think some people need to just change their mindset around like invest, like not feeling bad about investing in themselves with things like you were saying, like a air humidifier or whatever, or a juice
Yeah.
cleanse, or things that lead to more positivity in our body, mind, and spirit.
And I think it's a good to have a shift in mindset around what we spend our money on. So like if someone says to me, I can't afford a green juice a day because that's, a liter's $10 or whatever, but they go out every weekend and, they
Mm-hmm.
get pissed and all that kind of stuff, or just going out to eat one time can be 20, 30, 50, $100. That could be like a week's worth of juice in the morning. So really like
Exactly.
shifting the priorities with that, because some
Mm-hmm.
people do want it all and they want it all at once. Right.
That's
And
how it is. Yeah.
yeah, and that can be challenging to make that happen. But see, the what I want, Jillian, is I want to be able to eat exactly how I would if I was a millionaire. So, if I want to have 10 green juices a day, I don't want to blanket that, because if that supports me being the best version of myself, or having the gorilla milks, or being able to have enzymes, or take care of my family, so that this I don't have that on my shoulders in a way that kind of keeps everything from expanding. That's important.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Absolutely. I totally agree.
Is there anything that you wish that you would be able to kind of shift your mindset around, or do you think you already have such an abundant mindset that
No,
you're kind of already there?
I feel like I know the rules and I know the law of attraction and like practicing gratitude, and but I'm not there. No. I
No.
have my moments where, going through the divorce the last couple of years and losing all security and my home and
Mm,
like all kinds of things being thrown up in the air. I still struggle with like getting out of that fearful state and like that lack
yeah.
of security.
It's
And
more of like a defensive mode, right?
and I wish I could get out of that completely. And sometimes I practice getting out of that by knowing that like I'm an infinite being. I feel like if we can all totally understand, like we're an infinite, abundant, like I really feel like there's heaven after, and we're like all this. I feel like if I
Yeah.
can, that can really register, that can help me a lot. But it's something I still struggle with, and I think meditating and things like that help. But
Well, I think also like shifting from defense mode to offensive mode. So when I've gone and I've had like a goal and a mission, it's really like I'm excited to work because I know I'm working towards something. It's not just I'm working because I have to pay the bills and it's like this never ending school, right? You're just like counting down the clock. I get to leave in 5 hours and live the life I actually want to live. But when you have a
mm-hmm,
goal and you're giving your best foot forward, and every dollar you make, you're like, this is towards something. This is towards a better life. I think that's more of an offensive mode, and you're more willing to work and put the time in because you're getting something out of it. And I feel as
mm-hmm,
though the people that are stuck in defensive mode, they're trying to make what the income they have coming in, they're trying to make it work and keep everything, stable as long as they can. And that
mm-hmm,
usually comes and crashes down. And I feel as though getting comfortable is why that happens. So what I
mm-hmm,
mean by that is after you've kind of bought the things you wanted to buy and you've kind of stabilized, that you want to continue living that way, but also you don't have anything to really work towards. So it's easy to get into this like, oh, I could take off today because I don't have any pending, bills on coming in or whatever. And eventually the work just becomes kind of torturous.
mm-hmm.
Have you ever
Absolutely, I agree.
have you ever experienced that or no?
Yeah, I have. And I like what you're saying about goals. I think goals are so important. I think people don't even realize just how important they are. And that's something I have to set more time aside to do, like specific goal setting. Cause I don't know if it's Jim Rohn or Bob Proctor, which one they were like
Mm,
saying to somebody in something I saw, like, let me see your goals and I'll show you where you're going to be in 5 years. Right. And
sure.
people don't have goals. He's like, I can guarantee you your life's not going to change or it's not going to get better at
Mm.
all. Right. So I think goals are extremely important.
Do you have
And
any?
I mean, what were you
Go
going to
ahead.
say?
I was
No,
just
it's
going
okay.
to
Go
ask,
ahead.
do you have any
Yeah.
goals? Like, not that they're set in stone, but is there anything specific that you would like to do? Like for me, I really want to make it a priority this year to go hang out with Dan. I think this summer, spend
Mm-hmm.
some time with him, but also get out in California, Orange County, and spend some time training with Lou Corona. We've talked about that. Like those are some
Mm-hmm.
goals that I have like immediate, but I haven't defined them completely. Do you have anything that comes to mind for yourself?
Yeah, definitely. I want to start working out every day.
Okay.
So that's something that I was doing before the pandemic hit and like everything kind of changed here with the gyms. But working out is something that just helps me huge every day, like my mind and my mental, just staying positive and feeling really good about myself.
Mhm.
So definitely working out, and definitely my goal this year in 2022 is I want my channel to grow a lot. So I am dedicated. I work on my channel every single day. I film every single week. And another goal is to co-parent with my ex-husband, positively get along.
Yeah.
And another goal of mine is to buy another home for me and my kids. I always had my own home and I don't now. I'm renting in this small apartment with my kids. And sometimes, like,
Mm,
although I'm grateful to have it, sometimes it just drives me absolutely crazy because they share a
yeah.
room, the bathroom's tiny, and I'm used to like having a home.
Yeah.
So
Having
definitely my
space is
biggest
huge. Yeah.
goal would be to buy my own home again. And yeah, those are my current goals, really. And to just be a better mom every day, right? Like
Yeah.
things like that.
Well, just the fact that like you said, now that you have the goals in your head, you can start chipping away and working towards them, which I think all of the work that you've done since I've known you is working towards that for sure.
Thank you.
Do you have any desire to have your own studio in your home, or do you like going and filming at a studio?
Yeah, so I go and film a lot of my videos at a studio. They give me a pretty good rate because I film there so much because this place is pretty small. The kitchen is behind me behind that door and it's
Mhm.
tiny and it has no window. So it's really hard to film like kitchen videos and stuff in there. I
Yeah.
could, but I just like things like bright. And so I don't know if I would want, I think I kind of like going somewhere else sometimes to film
Yeah.
like those
No,
types of
really.
videos, because at home it's like the kids, the toys, stuff like that's kind of nice, like going somewhere else.
Mhm.
But at the same time, yeah, it would be pretty awesome to have a studio in my house too.
I think that's why people go to like Starbucks and like work on their computer just to get out of the house and
Hmm.
have a change in environment. Yeah, it's
Yeah,
great. It's great to get out.
it is.
100%.
I agree.
Do you have any specific goals with the YouTube channel? Like you could define like, oh, I want to hit 50,000 subscribers this year or anything long or not really?
Yeah, I do. I was saying to my daughter, it'd be nice to have like 10,000 subscribers by the end of March. She's like, Mom, March is like right here. I don't know about that, Mom. She's so
I-
funny. But then at the same time, when I catch myself doing that, I'm like, I don't want to be caught up in subscribers. It's just so easy to
yeah,
be
right.
checking your subscribers, obsessed with the subscribers. And I just try my best to keep my intentions of just that, like making videos that add the most value and setting good intentions with them and not expecting anything. But at the same time, you want lots of people to be seeing your videos. You want them
Yeah,
to be
you do
growing.
want the
So
feedback of it.
yeah, but it's been growing good. So, I mean, we'll see. But yeah, it'd be great. I would love to be at 100,000 subscribers like within the next couple years. And I mean, within a year, that would be amazing. But like YouTube does take time. It takes a lot more time than I think a lot of people realize. But once you get going, it like multiplies and grows faster and faster. So we'll see.
Yeah. Well, my prediction is I think by the end of this year, I can't see you at less than 40,000, 50,000. I mean,
Thanks. Well,
are you hopeful? I think that that's pretty
yeah.
reasonable the way things are going lately.
Yeah, I think so because just in the last like week, it grew like 25% the channel overall. So that's really good. It's been growing
I seen
great.
your Mimi video went to 17K and I'm like, my whole channel has like 7,000. I'm just like, holy crap.
I was
She is really
surprised that
popping off.
videos. I'm
Mhm.
surprised. You just never know which video is gonna start like hitting with the algorithm, and I'm surprised that that video did. But it was great. I loved. She was so interesting to talk to because she's an 83-year-old long-term vegan, right? So it
Right.
was really
Pretty
awesome
wild.
speaking to her. Yeah.
I feel as though the reason why I'm kind of passionate about this topic is because growing up, a lot of people around me in my immediate family were always so cheap. And I think that it's really, really unattractive, like an unattractive energy. And it's like, hey, make sure all the windows are closed 24/7 because the air is on or the heat is on, or you're walking out the front door and you're taking an extra 2 seconds to say goodbye. And they're like, shut the door. And it's like, dude, it costs like 10 cents. Chill out. Or
Mm-hmm.
or you want to go experience something. And I feel as though like kind of putting that into the children's head, like, no, you can't afford this. No, save your money.
Mm-hmm.
Don't ever have any fun. That kind of like really rubbed me the wrong way. So when I've had people stay with me, and I had like 12 vegans post Pranic Raw Festival stay with me, I want to make sure they felt as comfortable as possible and they had everything they needed. And I know that, and from what I hear, you're an amazing host as well when you host people
Thanks.
with
I
food
love
and just
it.
making people
Yeah.
feel welcome. And I think that's just something that's really needed in today's world because everything's so fast paced and everything's like, all right, get in and get the hell out.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
Have
I
you,
love hosting, like having parties like that with like raw foods, having both like raw and cooked for people. But like, it's part of the reason I can't wait to get a home again because it's just so much fun. I love that.
did you experience that growing up? Did you feel as though a lot of people kind of put that defense mode mentality into you, or
Yeah.
you and your family always have like an abundance mindset?
Yeah, I grew up with a single mom and
Yeah, me
I
too.
mean, she wasn't like that, like as severe as you're talking about at all. She wasn't like that. And we always had like abundant Christmases and stuff like that. So that was great. So I can't say it was like that, but I was around, but it wasn't like super rich lifestyle or anything, but it was like
Mm.
we were pretty good, you know?
Yeah.
But other people that I knew were like that, like don't flush the toilet. If you
Oh
go
my
number
God. Yeah.
one, like there would be signs on the wall. If it's whatever, number one, don't flush it down.
Yeah.
Whatever, you know what I mean?
Careful, don't use too much toilet paper. I had this
Yeah.
guy, I was working with these two guys, and he's complaining about his girlfriend and her daughter. And he's like, when COVID happened, I had to spend $50 on toilet paper over 6 months. And he was so he was mad as hell. And
Wow.
I'm like,
Yeah.
dude, it's 50 fucking bucks.
I
Let
know.
the
I'm
girls
like that
be.
too. I'm like you. I think it's a mindset too. I don't like to be, like I said, I want to have like an abundant, super amazing life in all areas and not have to be like, like that type of mindset that you're talking about.
Jill, I don't know if there's I think it's a good time to start wrapping up.
Sure. Yeah.
Cool. I wanted
Yeah.
to
Okay, cool.
thank you. I want to thank you for always coming on here and speaking with me. I always enjoy talking with you.
Me
This
too.
one was a little shorter. I think we both have a lot of on our plate today to accomplish. A lot of
Mhm.
offensive mode, get out into the world and do some amazing things. But I
Mhm.
fully support everything that you're doing. It's always a joy to see the interviews that you have and the videos that you create, because I know how much heart and love you put into those. And I support you 100%, Jill.
Thanks so much. You're such a great friend. And thanks so much for having me on. It's always so much fun talking to you. I'll have you on my channel again soon.
Cool. Yeah. And we definitely need to do a video with MP. I think he's going to be back from Florida soon, and we could do
Yeah.
something cool, do a podcast episode with him.
Yeah, I saw him at Miami Fruit. I've been loving his vlogs. I just ordered some fruit from them. They have the best fruit in the entire world. I love it.
It's one of the reasons why Woodstock has like the best fruit, because they sponsor it.
Wow, I have to go to Woodstock.
Yeah.
Amazing.
And I seen that you ordered the egg fruit. When I went to Hawaii, that was the best fruit I ever had.
The egg fruit, that is the best fruit I've ever had in my entire life. I don't like it, it tastes like cake, or it's hard to explain what it tastes
It's like
like.
an avocado mixed with like that sweetness, almost like the texture. I don't know.
It's way better than avocado to me. I was like,
Oh
what is
yeah.
this? Where has this been all my life? So I just ordered a box.
See, I feel like when people experience good quality fruit like that, it's easy to eat. But a lot of people are eating like crappy apples and like, oh, this fruit diet sucks.
And Eli, who you interviewed, the Free Melon Society, he brought me some persimmons yesterday, which I told you, I don't know if I'm pronouncing it right.
Yeah, persimmons. Yeah.
But persimmon, yeah, I'd never tried those before. I can't. 5 years raw vegan, I've never had one, because to me they just don't look that great. I'm just like,
Yeah,
oh,
they
whatever,
kind of look
right?
like
They can't be.
tomatoes or something.
They are freaking delicious. I was blown away. So that was nice.
You've tried a lot of good fruits recently. You had the durian for the first time,
Yeah.
persimmons,
Sugar apples too.
custard
Sugar apple.
apples. Yeah.
Yeah.
I had
Those
those
are
first
another
time
one.
in Florida. Holy crap. That was an experience for me.
Those are unbelievable. They kind of remind me a bit of soursop. They're just unbelievable though.
So good.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, everyone, I want you to, Jill, did you have any closing thoughts on the subject or anything at hand?
I don't think so, but I do just want to say again, thanks so much for having me on. I love chatting with you, and I think we should do it again soon.
Yeah, we definitely should. Thanks
Yeah.
for taking the time. Everyone, I want to remind you out there to keep your standards high. Go for a better, higher quality of life. Go for people who support you wanting to have a higher quality, instead of nitpicking the little things that you do and making you feel bad about investing in yourself and the people around you. Because hungry people is all about enriching your own life and the lives around you, and staying hungry to be better, because we can always be better. And in the times where we're not, that is just an opportunity to reflect and realize how valuable it is to feel great.
Very well said, AJ. Such a pro.
You too. Thanks, Jill. Take care.
Okay, take care. Bye.